Welcome back to Delhi, where the final match of day 4 is about to take place as India's 100% men's team take on Team Canada. India played well and looked good here. Michael Nobbs is getting them to play in a style that suits the national psyche. Fast, flowing, fluent, and at times fabulous. And just look at that table. India, with their 100% record there, sitting proudly atop the group. Canada on 6 points could do themselves a heap of good if they can somehow get the better of India tonight. Clearly the team from India are behind their coach and the style. Getting players to buy into new ideas is often the hardest thing for any coach, but particularly a foreign one to achieve. But Nobbs seems to have done that, and he's building a team that's looking beyond mere qualification for London. Little boy, big flag, big dreams. Good support in for Canada as well. India's road everywhere, let alone London, in recent times has been rocky and strewn with potholes resembling craters at times, and some of their more pessimistic fans may be wondering whether the cavern is going to open up in front of them here. But Canada will certainly be quite a test. A blend of youth and experience. This Canadian team will be pumped up, ready to give this one a real crack to improve their chances, which faltered on day 2 when they went down to the polls. They've come back from that and will need no extra motivation for this one against the host nation. But before we get underway here, we're going to have the now obligatory presentations of dignitaries to the two teams. And we've got Arun Jaitley, Member of Parliament, Leader of the Opposition, the Rajya Sabha Party. And he's escorted down the line by the hard-working Narinder Batra, the Secretary-General of Hockey India. And great credit must be given to Hockey India for their hosting of this event. They've done a superb job. And also in the line, Antonio Vonandaza, the FIH representative here, member of the FIH committee. In fact, Leandro Negre bringing up the rear there, the president of the International Hockey Federation. No shortage of support in the crowd for Canada, although they're going to be heavily outnumbered by the Indian support here. They've just seen the Indians women's team rather fluff their lines in getting well beaten in the end by South Africa. Convincing victory for South Africa, which keeps their chances alive and gives India a real challenge facing them now. So they'll be hoping over there in the stands that India's men's team can get India back on script here. India started so well in this tournament, it'd be a great shame for them if the wheels come off now. So we've reached the end of the official presentation, and now the crowd are invited to stand for the national anthems, starting, I believe, with the anthem of Canada. The anthem then of Canada, and now the host nation.
What's up?
draw then for the playing of the Indian national anthem, and there's going to be a wonderful atmosphere around this famous old stadium for this one tonight. Such a great game in prospect. Team Canada here, led by Kenny Pereira, who was born of Indian parents, a special moment for him. Rob Short at number 13, a veteran these days, but still a key member of this team. Hudson Stewart has looked useful for Canada, as has Matt Guest, a lively forward. Robin Dabrio there, just putting the final touches to the communications tools. The lot of the modern-day coach. And India replaced their captain Bharat Chetri in goal tonight, with Srijeth coming in. And Sada Singh will wear the captain's armband, wearing his number 8 in the midfield. Michael Nobbs, India's coach there, alongside David John, who's done so much work to improve the fitness levels of this Indian team. And that's been very apparent, what we've seen here already. A few more notes. Obviously not a modern man, Michael Nobbs, going there for the notebook. Our umpires, that's Colin Hutchinson there from Northern Ireland. There he is, and Nigel Igu from New Zealand, his colleague there, with his back to us. Umpires in daffodil yellow this evening. India in the all light blue strip, Canada in the red shirts with the black shorts. Antonio Kindler there, the Canadian goalkeeper, just putting some finishing adjustments to his equipment. Chandy there, who saw him take a little cut to the lip last evening, but he's back playing again now. And I'm sure both camps will be delighted to get this one underway. It's one of the outstanding games in this men's Hero FIH Road to London. So Canada will be attacking the Indian goal away to our right-hand side. Let's settle back and enjoy what's sure to be a bumpy road. Canada trying to launch an immediate attack. Very important they keep India quiet in the early exchanges. India played last evening with real pace about their attack and took the game to and indeed beyond France before the game had really got properly underway. And how about this for pace immediately, and played really flashed across the face of the Canadian goal there. That's the pace that India can muster. Pereira, still a really good competitor in Pereira, and a proud captain of this Canadian team, and as most capped player of all time, Pereira, and Rob Short just a couple of caps behind him. Listen to the crowd getting behind the Indian team here as again they turn on the speed. They've got speed merchants on both flanks. Good determined play there by Canada. Pereira picks it up, gets the ball wide onto the left-hand side. Fed on again. Sukhvinder missing out. Here's Sada with a captain's armband. Has to slide on the turf to keep the ball under his control. Layers across at his teammate for a less than sympathetic pass to him in the first place. Too much pace on the pass this time. There's the Indian bench. Michael Nobbs standing in front of them there, making a better door, no doubt, than a window. Had the pleasure of meeting Michael for the first time a couple of evenings ago, and he's obviously got great plans for this Indian team, and indeed hockey throughout this famous hockey-playing nation. He's made a really good fist of things. So far, so good, you'd have to say. I'm afraid this team and the coach will all be measuring what happens later this week. Ball into the circle, India have got a corner here. Mistake by the Canadian defence. Colin Hutchinson on the spot, and he points for a penalty corner, coming off a Canadian foot there. And India with a chance. And their corners, particularly those involving Sandeep, have been impressive all week. Can they get one away here? There's the man, Sandeep. He has his critics when it comes to defending, but he has few peers when it comes to attacking penalty corners. Canada slow to get back behind the line. Rob Short's just making sure that everything's in place. Sandeep prepares. The Olympic rings on his right forearm there. Out it comes. There's the shot, parried by the goalkeeper. It's not clear yet though. India can launch another attack. Not now, they can't. Canada have the numbers back. Face mask discarded. Well, it's starting at a frenetic pace, and I don't expect that to drop. Now Rob Short, he'll be hoping things do slow down just a little bit. Difficult one there for Philip Wright. Let's watch the corner again here as Sandeep got the power, parried by the goalkeeper. Anthony Kindler in the Canadian net doing really well there. Sandeep will know it was a little too close to the goalkeeper. He considered to be a particularly dangerous corner. Just making Kindler aware though of the firepower that he has available. Ball drilled in and deflected over the baseline for a long corner. Good start this by India. This is what Canada would have been drilling. They need to get a stick on the ball and start dictating terms. India going through their repertoire of tricks. Kindler kicks high safely, but high nonetheless. Sunil, one of the fleet-of-foot Indian forwards, goes on the reverse stick side, taken by the defender. The ball seemed to be in the air from my angle here, but Colin Hutchinson in control. Robin W, the Canadian coach, knows that his team are under the cosh a little bit here. Just need to settle, string a few passes together, perhaps ask a few questions of this Indian defence. Well, the bounce, the undoing there of the Indian defence, taken very quickly. Good quick thinking there by the Canadians, and they're coming forward. Short can't quite get there. Sada can. The ball played out quickly, but look at the closing down, the work both sides are doing here. Game being played at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Good work there by Ian Smythe. Canada making some changes. Ken Pereira comes off, replaced by Richard Hildreth. Well, India have started this game against Canada exactly as they did against the French, apart from one small fact: they haven't scored. Come close on a couple of occasions. Sardar threads the ball through. Sunil at pace, and leaves it for Dharanjit. Sardar again. Rob Short's in his face, preventing any further progress. Now, Canada will have done their homework on this Indian team. And nothing if not thorough. Short again. Nice ball out onto the left-hand side. This is good work from Canada, but India have got defenders there, but in trouble now. Is it a pass? No, there isn't, but there is a shot. And that, I think, may well have hit the frame of the goal. Oh, what a shot that would have been, with Canada's first real sight of the Indian goal. If that one had finished in the back of the net. Let's watch again. And behind the goal this time. Here goes the shot. Yes, just hit the outside of the post there. A brave effort. Short controls The one over the top, but the bounce takes it out of the reach of the on-rushing Canadian midfielder there. Strong physical challenge put in there by David Jameson, and he's attracted the umpire's attention. Hutchinson not going for a card, but he is going to have a word. Clever pass, great disguise there. Lovely when they come off. You look a bit silly if they don't. Stolen now by Canada. And a little short on attacking option, so keeping possession. Challenge going into the back there of Jagdish. Just slowing the tempo down momentarily. Now they go again. Jagdish Gill can't control the ball. Turkey plays the ball across field, and the bounce that's been with us all week is here again this evening, just making a fool there out of the defender. He was well positioned. Nice work on the ball here from Canada. Short did well. But Sardar powerful. Sunday whips one out instantly to the left-hand side. Quick break on here. Lovely ball back across, but there's no one there. Well, wonderful pace from the Indians here. Shivendra has been impressive. Hasn't had the best of luck sometimes, but real pace about him. There he is with the sky blue headband, matching the playing kit. One of the real superstars of Indian hockey at the moment. The umpire might come back to that one. Play goes on. Canada have got the ball. Well, there's no quarter being asked or given out there at the moment, and Colin Hutchinson is going to have a word. I thought he might. And it's a green card, and India have lost a player here. In fact, it seems to be sending a Canadian across. No, we've got two players coming across. This is all very confusing. The Canadian's going for a substitution. It's Turkey. Turkey has got the green card there for that clumsy-looking challenge. So India down to 10. Here goes Shivendra down the middle. Pereira working hard to stay with him. And just making sufficient nuisance of himself to draw the foul. Watch this earlier collision. Turkey there putting in the body check. Here he is. Turkey just taking on some water. He'll be sitting out for 2 minutes, and he's caught his forearm in that collision as well. And working the ball back into the circle, but India holding up under the pressure. That'll go over the baseline, left there by Scott Tupper, rather than risking taking down a high ball. Two countries who like the flags, India and Canada. Good to see the crowd all mixed in together, just enjoying. The moment is shaping up to be a really good game of hockey to bring to a close the day's play here. Sardar. Lovely accurate pass. Sardar again. Lovely range of passes. Kandika. Sideline ball. Long corner again, I think. Yes, indeed. India pulling the ball all the way back. Have to do some scurrying to keep that one in play there. Raghunath, one of the players we might see involved in Indian penalty corners. They have an embarrassment of riches in that particular department at the moment. There are potentially three very dangerous flickers and hitters Rob Short with a little bit of room to work in here. For his options, plays the ball out from the left-hand side. Work to the edge of the Indian circle. So something for Canada here. Short takes it on. India's defence well organised there against that Canadian attack. Careless tackle there, free hit for Canada. Working towards the edge of the area again, but outnumbered and outmanoeuvred there by the Indians. Now Hudson Stewart. Short leaves it. Watson. Good ball forward, but Sandeep was all over Matt Guest there. That'll be a good contest. India work the ball out to the right-hand side, and away they go again at speed. New Delhi Express going down that right-hand side at a rate of knots. Canada marginally ahead on the possession stakes so far. A bit of pushing in the back again there. Canada's free hit taken very quickly. And I don't think the Indian was 5 yards from that. And Raghunath will be seeing green, I suspect. Off he goes. So that's the second Indian to be shown a card in fairly short order. Good idea. Matt Guest trying to get in there. The ball was flashed into the Indian circle, just looking for a tip-in opportunity. There's Raghunath on the naughty step. Just 2 minutes suspension. There's a tendency for sides just to control the ball while they're down in numbers, and we're seeing that now from India, just taking some of the pace off it, running down the clock on the suspension, making sure they don't surrender possession cheaply to their opponents. Stringing a few passes together here. And very nearly the slower tempo paying off for them there. Played back for Sandeep on the halfway line. Spreads it wide to the right-hand side of the field. Good closing down there. Have a look at that last Indian attack. Drilled in there by Manpreet. Defending by Canada. Kenny Pereira running the ball out towards the near touchline. The whistle's gone though. It'll be a hit for Canada. Bit of pushing on Pereira. There he is. Not much of him, but my goodness, it's 100% commitment every time he plays. Good approach play here by India. Ball flashed across the circle again, but a little more care required with that final ball at the moment. Just trying to force things. Nice to see the umpires enjoying themselves as well, despite the pressure. Colin Hutchinson's got the short straw across there with that big and very noisy crowd behind him. Almost halfway through this first period here, and still we have a blank scoreline, but no shortage of excitement and terrific commitment from both teams here. Canada seem to have weathered the early Indian storm. Michael Hobbs preparing the next problem for them. Not in the notepad, certainly in his head. Sandeep plays the ball forward. India have got possession inside the Canadian circle, and they've got another corner here. Lovely incisive pass. Cue more flag waving. Sunil's pace again, pace of movement, pace of thought. And finding the foot there of Canada's David Jameson. Rather a soft corner in the end. Jameson won't be happy with that. Neither will Anthony Kindler. He's got to keep the ball out now. Last time that man hit Kindler with the corner. They'll be trying to put it a little further wide this time, with the keeper much less chance of reaching it. So all eyes on that Canadian goal as Sandeep limbers up, clears his head, focuses on the task at hand here. India making absolutely sure of this routine, setting it nicely. There it is, it's been left behind. Still not clear though. The Canadian goalkeeper goes down in a logging position, and the shot is way wide of target. Not what was required at all there. That won't please Michael Nobbs. The move broke down, but this was a good chance and rather wasted. Danish Mushtaba with the shot. Eye wide and not very handsome. It's a good contest, this, as we knew it would be. Sardar making a rare mistake. He's retrieved the situation. Kirky, now on for Sandeep. Back for Sardar again. Oh, lovely interplay. India holding on to the ball very well. Blast on the whistle from the New Zealand umpire on this near side. Will relieve some pressure for Canada here. It's a good aerial, and it's come off the legs there of the Indian defender, but play goes on because Canada still have the ball. Nice 1-2. Just too much pace on it. You need to be careful when they push forward. They don't leave the back door open. Canada more than capable of upsetting this Indian party here tonight. India get a little bit careless in defence. Now Sandeep. Back to this left-hand side. India making good ground down the left-hand touchline. Moving away quickly with a free hit again. Turkey is giving chase. Lovely ball. Real scramble there. The goalkeeper going to ground. Good umpiring there because there was a penalty corner possibility in there, but Nigel Agu, the New Zealand umpire, allowing the advantage. Matt Guest wants to leave this and calls Rob Short across to get involved. Short over the top of the ball now. Sanderson tries to force it in with his angles all wrong. That's Pearson ploughing his way through. Goalkeeper almost embarrassed there. Srijeth just able to keep the ball out. Didn't control the rebound particularly well. Cautious that Canada have been for some time. Indian attack involving Chandy this time. Good defence. Quality defending there by Canada. They needed to be very secure in the stop, and they were. Any half measures there and India would have been played in. Pereira picks up a pass that I think originally was intended for Rob Short. Turkey with the interception. Sardar ever prompting. Sandy goes down. He's been amongst the goals here in New Delhi this week, but not getting much change out of his marker there, who's all over him like a rash. High ball thrown over the top, and it's broken off the stick there of the Indian defender. Canada's free hit. Taken quickly again. Vinder is trying to force the issue, but it's Tirki who comes away with the ball and then runs it out of play. How wasteful. Sandeep sitting on the team bench, nearest to our cameras there. We'll be hoping they don't have any corners while he's off the field, but it would be a chance for them to test their other routines, which, as I was mentioning, are now quite impressive, quite a barrage they have available. Always takes the pressure off when you've got more than one corner strike. Everyone can have a little dip in form in the course of a tournament. Teams rely so heavily on the set piece. Canada working their way out of defence. Dependable Rob Short. Equally dependable Ken Pereira. Sets off on a run against Sardar. Pereira winning that little tussle at the moment. Mid 40 yards there, Ken Pereira. Rob Short. Pereira again. Off the foot there of Sardar. Canada's free hit. Rob Short complaining the ball wasn't there to be played, but he couldn't take the free hit from there anyway. Plays with the ball. He'd do well to get the ball out of here, though. He's 3 blue shirts for company. He's got a lot of experience as well. Plays the ball onto the defender's foot there. So Ramjit just showing his own stick handling skills. And the umpire makes that's a hit out to the defence. It's taken very quickly there by Raghunath and gets India going down the right-hand side. They've had enough of playing in this bottom left-hand corner. Tirki on again. Sardar going through the gears as he motors through the midfield. Fired in, took a deflection off the Canadian stick. They haven't cleared it very well, and India have forced a goal here. And Canada's defence making the error there under the pressure, and India have the lead. Shavendra there with the headband. Let's watch again a half stop. Shavendra with his arms aloft, but he didn't stop, and he forced the shot through the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. And as ever with Shavendra, you get that little salute, and India have their goal at last. Shavendra the goal scorer. Well, after all that excellent work by Canada, it was a little half stop in the circle that was there and doing. Good umpiring, allowing play to go on. Shavendra may thank Colin Hutchinson as they come out for half-time. He was asking initially for a penalty corner. Colin Hutchinson playing the advantage, and it's come off well for him. Tirki slips the ball out now. Canada need to dig in here. They can't afford to give India a 2-goal lead. There's Shavendra, the goal scorer. His 5th goal of the tournament. And that could prove to be a very important one indeed. Sardar. A bit of pushing over there, but it's Canada who conceded the free hit. Hutchinson looking into his circle. There's a lot of pushing and shoving and vying for every square inch. Just sorting that little issue out before we go again. Sardar plays it down towards the corner. India have gained another yard of pace since that goal. A team that thrives on confidence. 8 minutes left in the first half here. It's Going so well for Canada before the goal, but they're rocking again here. Rob Short animated in making some points to colleagues around him about what Canada need. We're going to watch the goal again, stolen by Shivendra and finished by Shivendra. And Shivendra salutes, and there'll be a few people around who might be wanting to salute him after that. There's the last attack. Good technique there by Colin Hutchison, avoiding the ball. Very nice star jump. 7 out of 10. Now the last 7 minutes of this first half of vital importance of both sides here. Canada, imperative they don't concede a second. India, well, they need to keep the back door closed, but if they have a chance to increase their lead, it would give them a really good base to build on. Go on to a victory, an expected victory. They would have expected this to be tough, and Canada have set themselves up to be difficult to beat. And India with just a little bit of rub of the green about the goal. And sometimes that can be all you need. Robin Dabrio just trying to calm his troops down here a little bit and get them back onto the game plan, the master plan that he will have hatched together with his senior generals in this team. Plot the downfall of India. So far, it's a very close run thing, but India have that key goal. Srijeth has been the quieter of the two goalkeepers so far. No shortage of perspiration on that Canadian bench. It's a hot and sticky evening here, certainly by Canadian standards. India leading the shot stat by 4-2. Good tackle short. And that's a telling factor. Just shows how dominant India have been. 10 circle penetrations. Just the one goal so far, though. 1 or 2 near squeaks to report. Plenty for those gentlemen across there to enjoy. Great route one pass, and this is Guest. Turkey under pressure. Looming figure there of Matt Guest. A little push in the back of Turkey. Turkey, I think, would like to have carried on with the ball there, but Nigel Igo wanted to make a point. They go India again. You can plot the progress on the pitch by the volume from the stands. Searching ball goes through the Canadian circle. A few more notes. Robin Dabrio just over 4 minutes away from being able to deliver his half-time talk to his team. Probably do with that talk about now. Short throws one over the top. Good forward run there by Phil Wright. Just not able to bring the ball down under control. Canada have been in containing mode in this first half an hour or so here. Haven't really put any sustained pressure on the Indian defence. That's something they're going to have to turn round now if they really do believe they can get a result here. India playing confidently, sticking to their game plan. Three and a half minutes to go in the first half. Turkey again. Back for Sandeep. Vendra's goal, the difference between these two sides at the moment as Canada come forward looking for something before the interval here. Sakvinder under pressure from Sandeep. Savinda turns and shells the ball in, and Sandy has fouled him there. Filled in better this time. It's gone against the Canadians. Rob Short looks around, doesn't really understand the decision. I can't help him with that one. Talk about wearing your flag. Likes to wear his colours with pride. Short picks up the loose ball, sets Canada rolling again. Well, Short rolling the Canadian bandwagon forward here in search of something before the interval. Just under 2 minutes remaining. Canada's old warrior there, still playing club hockey in the Netherlands with Hage Say in Wassenaar, along with Kenny Pereira, and Scott Tuffus played there as well. Very wide on the right-hand side. Talking to Rob the other night in the team hotel. He's been offered a new contract by Hage Say in the Netherlands, where he's a great favourite of the crowd. A great asset to any club on and off the field. Short drills it out, but no direction there on the pass, just pushing India back. We're into the last 45 seconds here in the Dhyan Chand Stadium. It's been a fascinating first half, full of high intensity and some real skill. Each pace in the early stages coming from India. Canada withstood that early pressure. They conceded about 10 minutes before half-time, when a half stop, a half trap in the Canadian circle allowed Shivendra a chance, and he took it with aplomb. That'll be the last action then of the first half here in the Hero FH Road to London. It's Canada 0, India 1, and you can hear what they think about it. Well, Michael Nobbs will go to work on his players at half-time. They've certainly had it all their own way, had plenty of possession. But Canada proved themselves to be a really tough opponent to break down here. And both sides giving it absolutely everything they've got. So Canada have got to go and take stock of the new situation, see if they can find a game plan to get the better of India here. But India in the driving seat at half-time. They lead their opponents by 1-0. The goal for India scored by Shivendra. Canada 0, India 1. So welcome back to the Major Dhyan Chand National Hockey Stadium here in New Delhi in the final game of the day here. India have a narrow advantage. Shivendra's goal in the 26th minute against a very resilient Canadian team. Let's look back on the highlights then of the first half, with India playing in that light blue strip, starting at a blistering pace, that one flashing across off the stick of Sunil. Sardar in the thick of things, wearing the captain's armband tonight for India, with Bharat Chetri sitting it out in the stands. Canada hitting the frame of the Indian goal, and that was the closest they were to come really in the first half. Shivendra's pace always a problem for any defence, and there's a ball across there, wanted finishing off, no one there to deliver the coup de grace. Same again, but from the other side this time. A penalty corner was rather left behind, and the follow-up completely wasted, as Rob Short took evasive action very wisely. Canada were pegged back for long periods, but when they did come forward, they showed themselves more than capable of causing mild panic in the Indian defence. And here's the goal coming up. Shivendra appealing for a corner, then decided he'd play on, and got the ball through the keeper's legs and into the back of the net. And that proved to be the only goal of the first half, and has given India that very narrow lead at the break. And there's a famous shot of the archway there, modelled on the Arc de Triomphe, the India Gate, and the tomb of the unknown soldier in there, and the perpetual flames that burn in honour of them. So many who gave so much. And there are the stats from that first half. 2 penalty corners for India, nothing yet in that column for Canada. India's 10 circle penetrations show really just where the game was played, largely in the Canadian half of the field. But so far just that one goal, and we all know how vulnerable a one-goal lead can be, but you'd rather have it at half-time rather than being behind by one. The crowd have been really well entertained. Shivendra, the goal scorer there, with that trademark sky blue headband there. Canada just discussing how they're going to turn this one around in the second half. They need to go for broke here, nothing to hold back for. Canada at the moment marooned on 6 points. A win would take them up to 9, and we'd have 4 teams then. India, Canada, France and Poland would all be on 9. But from my vantage point at the moment, a Canadian win looks like something of a long shot. India in control of the game, but we've seen India over so many years implode in key situations. Has this side got more mental toughness than those that have gone before? We might find out in the next 35 minutes. I'm sure that Canada will come strongly at them. So Shivendra hovering over the ball on the halfway line here, looking to get the second half underway, and away we do go. And Sardar immediately whips the ball out to the right-hand side. Now remember, in the early exchanges in the first half, it was Canada pushed back by blistering attacks from India down both flanks. Will Michael Oakley planning to do the same again? It looks like he might well be. Here's a chance. Oh, off the crossbar then and over. My goodness, that was travelling. What a shot. Extraordinary action there. I think it was Sunil's final shot. That was really travelling. It rattled the crossbar. Here's Sunil. Measures it off the face of the bar. And the ball just keeps on going. That ended up in the grandstand on the far side. Well, what a start that would have been for the second half. It wasn't a bad effort, was it? Blistering shot from Sunil. I suspect we've not seen the last of that shot. Well, outstanding action. Well, that's a warning to Canada. And India are certainly not going to be content with just the one goal. Let's watch that again. Ball across was good enough, but how about this? Sunil, one touch to control it, set himself, bang. And the noise off the crossbar rang around the stadium. Coming down in a group of players, so it'll be a free hit here for India. Canada at the start of the half, having to absorb pretty much constant Indian attacks, struggling to get any sort of quality possession going at all themselves. India again cleverly using the width, plays it to the baseline, look back into the centre, another chance here, the keeper's down, and New Zealand umpire in and spots an infringement, points firmly at the spot, and Canada have a chance to hit out here. Lovely ball in. Kandakar with the ball back. Muttapar going over the top of the goalkeeper. Just one hand on the stick, but sometimes one is enough. Still they go forward. Again the shot, brilliant save by the goalkeeper. What a run that was there from Saranjit. And again, he got plenty of pace on the ball. Canada's keeper did very well, Anthony Kindler. He made a couple of absolutely outstanding saves. The ball is being really fired at him with plenty of pace. And his reaction is obviously top draw. Lakra will have a chance to put more pressure on the Canadian circle here with the free hit, but he's going to leave it. Or Sardar. Sardar scribing an arc around the shooting circle, and that's come off a Canadian foot. Canada are saying it was outside the circle. Rob Shaw just asking the New Zealand umpire if he's really sure. I suspect his answer was a short one. Well, I think the New Zealand umpire's got that absolutely right, hasn't he? Just inside the line there, the point of impact at least. And India, who have started this second half in an exhilarating way, have another corner here. Nervous moments this for Canada. A second goal might well settle the issue, and they're under real pressure here. Haven't really got a start in the second half themselves yet. They haven't been allowed to. Sandeep takes it on, goes low and fires it home. Sandeep Singh, a man with a huge reputation for the set piece, shows exactly why they love him. And that might be the game here. Let's watch it again. Sandeep. Oh, it took a big deflection off the runner. Very little chance there for the keeper. Completely changed direction. And the goalkeeper and defenders given no chance at all. Sandeep won't worry about the deflection. It's down for his goal, and India threatening to run away with it here. There's Sunil again, causing problems down this right-hand side. He really is a live wire. Electric heels. You can't get a stick on him when he's in that sort of mood. It's Kandakar. Now Canada need to produce something here. They've got to up their game, otherwise they're going to be dead and buried. Sunil again. Good defensive work this time by Adam Crozier. Now, how much belief is there left here for Canada? 2-0 they trail. Nicely done by Rob Short. It's the ball going forward. Sada. Play waved on. Sunil delivers the ball in the air. Short knocks it out of the circle, but the umpire will call it back for a Canadian free hit. Let's watch the goal again here. Sada's power. Big helping hand from the deflection. Sandeep, good low position. And salutes. There he is, his 8th goal in the tournament. And his reputation gains momentum. Canada with very little to offer at the moment. They're chasing Indian shadows. They can't live with the pace on the Indian flanks, and Sandeep's corners continue to cause all defences here real problems as well. India's possession, 8 percentage points ahead now of their opponents. They're starting to turn it on. That's never good news. Crowd encouraged by another strong performance on home turf here. Alakra trying to get Sunil on the ball at every given opportunity, and the sort of purple patches going through. You can't really blame them for that. Circle penetrations heavily in favour of India, and Canada have got to make some inroads into that, and indeed that stat, if they're going to change things around here. It's more of a damage limitation exercise at the moment than by Canada. Not seeing much of them as an attacking force at all. When they do get possession at the far end, the Indian end of the field, they tend to spin it over very quickly. Wave after wave of Indian attacks come on to the Canadian goal. Sandeep again. And for Sardar, needs a couple of touches to bring it under control. Hirki. Sardar again. Nicely judged pass out to the left-hand side. Nice movement off the ball. A loose pass. Sunil, I think, just looking across the bench and suggesting maybe that he could do with a spell here. Mark Pearson there. No real goal-scoring opportunities for him tonight. Great disparity in this men's pool between the haves and the have-nots to an extent. We're looking at 2 of the haves at the moment. Robin Dabre knows he's got a real game on his hands here. And he's going to need to produce quite a big rabbit out of a hat if he's going to turn this one around. Canada will keep trying though. One goal would make a big difference to the scoreline and the state of mind of both camps here. Jameson. Picked up again by India. Here's Sardar pushing forward. Goes into the 23-metre line. And the Canadians lost a stick along the way. Good tackle there by Tupper. Manpreet. Fires it through the circle, then no one can get a stick on it at all. Canada's sideline ball on that far side. Watch out for flying sticks. Two Canadians there tussling for the ball. Rob Short shows his strength as he wrestles it away from his teammate Phil Wright. Canada thought they might have got a free hit, but India on the break here and dangerous. Chandy goes wide. Ranjit probably overcomplicating things there, just lost his bearings for a moment. Good work by Tupper. Now Hudson Stewart. No Short. That's asking a lot of Stewart to give chase here. Well, showing the commitment. That's never been a problem with Canadian teams. They've always been wholehearted competitors. Slowly but surely, India here on home territory are grinding a win out here. A good ball forward. And slowly but surely, India are eliminating teams in the group who would spoil the party here. It was France last night. It's looking as if it's going to be Canada tonight. Lovely vision there by Sartar to let that one come through. And Preet on the same line behind him. These two ranked very close together in the world rankings. India currently 10th, Canada one place below them in 11th. India however missed out in the last Olympic Games in 2008 in Beijing, the first time they've ever missed out on the greatest show on earth. And they are, of course, still, and it bears repeating time and time again, they are the most successful nation ever in hockey, having won 8 gold medals. No one can touch them on that. Yes, we know the game was a different game on grass. India showing some signs here that they're coming strong again. And how welcome that would be. Pereira. Sanderson. There is a mental toughness now about this Indian outfit. The few remaining question marks about them was how they would stand up under a really competitive game. They're getting one here against Canada. They've been strong enough to boss it. The game's been played at India's pace. They've dictated the terms, and Canada found them very hard to live with. At times unplayable. To the top of the circle. Is there something for Canada here? There might well be. And Canada have got a goal back. And it could be game on again here. Pearson, their ace goal scorer, has put one away here. The first time really a little bit of indecision in that Indian circle. I think that was Turkey losing out. And Pearson getting in behind him here. That's Turkey with the The half stop didn't affect it very well, and off the goalkeeper's stick and into the net, and that could make a huge difference here. Pearson, with one of the few scoring opportunities that Canada have had, certainly in this second half, has reduced the arrears, and that's made quite a difference to the game and certainly to the crowd. Have certainly gone very quiet here. Now here's a man who'll get them back roaring again. Sunil. Pearson's reward for the goal, a seat back on the bench. Wild one across the face from Manpreet. Needed to measure that slightly differently. So we've got over 90 minutes remaining. That's an eternity in hockey terms. Now we'll find out what India are made of, and Canada for that matter, as they come forward down the right-hand side. And that's a penalty corner, and for the first time really in the game, some doubts are starting to be raised here about India's defence. That's a couple of errors in quick succession. Good, strong, but nevertheless fairly routine ball into the circle. And the normally impeccable Sardar there getting an inside edge and playing it onto his own foot. So it's a penalty corner, Canada's first of the game. And if they can find a goal here, this game will have swung, and dramatically swung, within a little more than a minute. Rob Short marches across to push the ball out. Canada's women up in the stands watching on. Scott Tupper looks to be the likely flicker here. It's a funny old game sometimes. The shot goes through the legs of the goalkeeper, and Canada from nowhere have produced 2 goals in a little more than a minute and a half, and they're back on terms. Did I say it was a funny old game? Let's watch it again here. Short pushing it out, good stop. Tupper all along the deck. The keeper, well, he should have done better. Through the legs of the goalkeeper, couldn't get his feet together in time. Tupper's power. What a change. From nowhere, Canada really were looking short on ideas, and India firmly in control of the ball, of the score, of everything, and it's all changed. Indian fans have been here before. First time we see pressure now on Michael Nobbs. A similar situation in the Champions Challenge when India were undone in the final by Belgium. Surely history's not going to repeat itself here. Tupper, the most recent Canadian goal scorer. That's when you judge a penalty corner strike. He's only had one chance, Tupper, and he got the goal that Canada needed from him. Sardar tries to restore the old order here, goes strongly down there, but Canada are back in numbers. Sandeep. Lakra. Sardar. Sunil trying to find a way through, but Canada are there in numbers again. Guest doing well. Long corner. Well, it's a cracking game. Make no mistake about that. It's not followed a very predictable path, though, with those 2 Canadian goals in quick-fire order. Canada looking to bring 5 different players on into the action here. That's a record. I don't think I've seen 5 before. India doing things in more conservative style, bringing on just 1. We've affected 3 of those changes, still 2 to go. Now Short. Pereira. Well, from looking down and out in New Delhi, Canada suddenly looked as if they could pinch this and break a few Indian hearts. They've already been bitterly disappointed here tonight with their ladies team, who fluffed their lines in a key game against South Africa. South Africa far too good for them in the end. Ran away with that game. Surely India not going to throw a 2-goal lead here, or are they? And that's the corner. The ball went up in the air. Nobody was sure what the decision was going to be. Canada surrounding the New Zealand umpire here, but they've heard his decision and they've accepted it. Little choice in the matter. Kempera running to Colin Hutchinson on the halfway line, seeing if he had a different view to offer. Pereira bringing the ball down. The question is how the ball went up in the air. Canada thought that might have come off an Indian stick rather than a Canadian one. This is a big moment in the game, you feel here. Having just got back on terms, it would be a real body blow for Canada if India can produce another goal here. And they know just how important this moment could be as well. So India's corner. Out it comes. Sandeep's shot is charged down by Pearson, who celebrates it almost more than he did his goal. Brave stuff. Pereira's got, all of a sudden it's opened up. India not at home at the moment. Chance here for Canada. Pereira didn't have the strength to win that tussle for the ball. We're going to get a card here as one or two of the challengers get a little bit rustic. Pearson showing the green card, too much adrenaline, not enough application there. Sunil. Ooh, that's on the way up originally, says Nigel Igo. Canada can breathe more easily again. Let's watch that corner and the charge out from Pearson, who's sitting on the naughty step at the moment. See the celebrations. He closed in on the 23-metre line. He was only about a yard away and he took it absolutely flush on the stick there. Any higher, that would have caught the bottom hand, and that would have been a real knuckle breaker. Brave challenge there by the Canadian front runner. Short, there's some defending to do here. He's got Sunil behind him, he knows it too. You can feel the breath on the back of his neck. Short again, trapped in the corner, but somehow gets the ball out towards the halfway line. Finding an angle there, it's gained Canada some 50 metres. Canada just taking a little bit of a breather, sitting back here as India comes strongly. Well worked by Tupper again, good strong left arm, holding the stick just in one hand and deflecting the ball away. 12 minutes to go. Michael Dobbs doing his best to impersonate somebody who's particularly calm and in control of things. It's a real test of his leadership. Canada really need the win. A draw not going to help their chances too much. The win would make life very interesting. Get the technical officials reaching for their slide rolls, I suspect, with one round of group games to go and 4 teams who would then be on 9 points as we watch this last play again. Manpreet's ball across. Sunil diving in at the far post, the nearest Indian to it. A metre short at the end of the day. And India coming back from those moments when they conceded 2 goals. To surrender a 2-goal lead. Tupper, well done by Tupper. And clever idea. Turkey covering the ground and making sure that Canada don't make any further progress. We've got a Canadian down in the circle here. And I think he's making a point that he was hit with the butt end of the stick there. Shivendra with plenty to say about things, and he's been encouraged to go well. I think Shivendra just happy to wind things up a little bit. always two sides to every story. Ferocious putting his side at the moment. The umpire clearly saw nothing. I must admit I didn't see anything untoward either. Let's see if we can sort out what has happened here. There goes the Ferocious. Oh, it's certainly marking Shivendra very closely. Shivendra coming off the better full tussle, and Canadian shown green card as they just stopped to lose their discipline a little bit here. That would be a shame now if all their good work is undone. A green card there for Richard Hildreth. That won't help Canada's cause. Now Sardar. Oh, it's a late whistle. The umpires, I think, consulting there. Rob Short not happy with that. Ball was hammered into the circle, and I think it was Colin Hutchison who spotted the Canadian foot in there. And Canada questioning the umpires about that one. We're going to get a chance to look at it again, I think. Yes, here we go. Here's the ball in, played in with plenty of pace. Torreira suggesting the ball was high, which means that probably did hit him on the foot, but he clearly thought the ball was in the air at the time. Anyway, the decision is a penalty corner for India.